Canto 5 by Alexander Pope, The Rape of the Lock. She said, the pitying audience melt in tears, but fate and Jove had stopped the Baron's ears. In vain Telestrus with reproach assails for one who can move when fair Belinda fails. Not half so fixed the Trojan could remain, while Anna begged and Dido raged in vain. Then grave Clarissa graceful waved her fan. Silence ensued, and thus the nymph began. Say, why are beauties praised and honored most? The wise man's passion and the vain man's toast. Why, decked with all that land and sea afford, why angels called and angel-like adored? Why round our coaches crowd the white-gloved bow? Why bows the side box from its inmost rows? How vain are all these glories, all our pains, unless good sense preserve what beauty gains, that men may say, when we the front box grace, behold the first in virtue as in face. Oh, if to dance all night and dress all day, charm the smallpox or chaste old age away, who would not scorn what housewife's cares produce, or who would learn one earthly thing of use? To patch, nay, ogle might become a saint, nor could it sure be such a sin to paint. But since alas frail beauty must decay, curled or uncurled, since locks will turn to gray, since painted or not painted, all shall fade, and she who scorns a man must die a maid. What then remains but well our power to use, and keep good humor still whate'er we lose? And trust me, dear, good humor can prevail when airs and flights and screams and scolding fail. Beauties in vain their pretty eyes may roll, charms strike the sight, but merit wins the soul. So spoke the dame, but so applause ensued. Belinda frowned, Telestrus called her prude. To arms, the fierce Virago cries, and swift as lightning to the combat flies. All side in parties and begin the attack. Fans clap, silks rustle, and tough whalebones crack. Heroes and heroines shouts confusedly rise, and bass and treble voices strike the skies. No common weapons in their hands are found. Like gods they fight, nor dread a mortal wound. So when bold Homer makes the gods engage, and heavenly breasts with human passions rage, 'gainst Pallas, Mars, Latonia, Hermes' arms, and all Olympus rings with loud alarms. Jove's thunder roars, heaven trembles all around, but Neptune storms, the bellowing deeps resound. Earth shakes her nodding towers, the ground gives way, and the pale ghosts start at the flash of day. Triumphant Umbriel on a sconce's height clapped his glad wings, and sat to view the fight. Propped on their bodkin spears, the sprites survey the growing combat, or assist the fray, while through the press enraged Telestrus flies, and scatter death around from both her eyes. A bow and whitling perished in the throng, one died in metaphor, and one in song. Oh, cruel nymph, a living death I bear, cried Dapper with, and sunk beside his chair. A mournful glance, foppling upwards cast, those eyes are made, so killing was his last. Thus on Mender's flowery margin lies the expiring swan, and he sings and he dies, when bold Sir Plum had drawn Clarissa down. Chloe stepped in and killed him with a frown. She smiled to see the doughty hero slain, but at her smile the bowl revived again. Now Jove suspends his golden scales in air, weighs the men's wits against the lady's hair. The doubtful beam long nods from side to side. At length the wits mount up, the hair subsides. See fierce Belinda on the baron flies, with more than usual lightning in her eyes, nor feared the chief the unequal fight to try, who sought no more than on his foe to die. But this bold lord with manly strength endured, she with one finger and thumb subdued, just where the breath of life his nostrils drew, a charge of snuff the wily virgin drew. The gnomes direct to every atom just the pungent grains of titillating dust. Suddenly with starting tears each eye o'erflows, and the high dome re-echoes to his nose. Now meet thy fate, incensed Belinda cried, and drew a deadly bodkin from her side, the same his ancient personage to deck. Her great-great-grandchild wore about his neck, in 3 seal rings, which after melted down formed a vast buckle for his widow gown. Her infant grandam's whistle next it grew, the bell she jingled and the whistle blew. Then in a bodkin graced her mother's hairs, which long she wore and now Belinda wears. Boast not my fall, he cried, insulting foe, thou by some other shalt be laid as low, but think to die dejects my lofty mind. All that I dread is leaving you behind. Rather than so, let me still survive, and burn in Cupid's flames, but burn alive. Restore the lock, she cries, and all around, restore the lock, the vaulted roofs rebound. Not fierce Othello in so loud a strain roared for the handkerchief that caused his pain. But see how oft ambitious aims are crossed, and chief content, till all the prize is lost. The lock obtained with guilt and kept with pain, in every place is sought, but sought in vain. With such a prize no mortal must be blessed, so heaven decrees, with heaven who can contest?